मोस्ट करून म्हणजे शेअर करायची स्क्रीन.
वैशाली इंगोले.
त्यांना मला होस्ट करणं एक मिनिट
एक 12-15.
Sir, what is the subject name?
96-11 19.
Sir, what is the subject name, sir?
61-59. मांजरे. कब्बुरेचा नंबर.
Yes.
97-42 69 0045 0045.
बघा 200 वर गेले वाटतं.
सर्वांनी आपले माईक म्यूट करा.
हा
मैम सब्जेक्ट कोड कौन सा है?
So today we are going to discuss about the cost analysis from MBA 103, Economics for Managers. That is the title of our subject, and the topic we are going to discuss that the cost analysis. MBA 103. In our previous lecture, we will discuss the number of cost analysis concepts like accounting cost, okay. Is the screen is visible all of you? Those students are attending the session. Please tell me. Okay, no problem. So in the last lecture, we will discuss the different kind of concepts regarding cost. In this context, we will discuss accounting cost. Then onwards, we will discuss in the last lecture the formula for calculation of accounting cost. Then we will discuss about the economic cost. The economic cost constitutes the different kind of sub-concepts, that is total cost, variable, fixed, average and marginal cost. These concepts also we will discuss in the last lecture, and then we also discussed that table, and thoroughly we also discussed that opportunity cost. The opportunity cost itself narrates its meaning that the opportunity cost is the opportunity lost. That is the definition of opportunity cost concept, and how that opportunity can be lost by any entrepreneur or anyone. That also part we will discuss in the last lecture. And the short-run cost curves, then total cost curves. What is meant by total cost? How that can be calculated? That part also we will cover in the last lecture. This is the total variable cost and total fixed cost. So in this way, we will discuss the average cost also. How can we calculate the average cost? This is the formula which we will discuss in the last lecture, and we will consider that if the total cost is 1000, and with the help of this total cost, the total quantity produced 100, then what will be the total average cost? 10 rupees. Is this so? 1000 divided by 10. The total cost is 1000 and quantity produced 100. 1000 divided by 110 rupees per unit cost. Okay. So then onwards we will discuss the marginal cost. that marginal cost plays very important role in case of cost analysis. Basically, the marginal cost is the change in total cost divided by change in quantity. In the last lecture, we may discuss that if the cost increased by 100 rupees, that we will consider 1000 rupees, and onwards, due to the one additional unit, the cost increased by 100 rupees, which means the change in total cost is 100 rupees, and due to that, if the quantity changed by 2 or 3 or more than 3 number of quantity of the units, then the change in quantity is will be denominator. For example, we were considering in the last lecture the quantity changed from 20 to 21. It is so the change in total cost is 100 and the change in quantity is 1. So divided by 100 by 100. The marginal cost becomes 100, which means the marginal cost refers the cost made by the additional product unit. Okay. That part also we were considered in the last lecture, and I think we were sum up our lecture in the last lecture with the help of that table. That table constitutes the total average and marginal cost concepts. It is with the help of that table we are going to discuss these graphs also. So today we are going to discuss that table and then onwards the different kind of graph or the cost curves also. Look at the table and we will find out that here there is a successive increase in output. Okay, there is a successive increase in output. So therefore, but the total fixed cost remains same. Total fixed cost remains, and fixed cost means the expenses made on fixed items. So expenses made on fixed items are not varied according to the output. So therefore, it remains same throughout the production process. But the total variable cost, that is TVC, changed according to the output. When we want to increase our output, then we are needed to increase our variable cost also. And when we want to decrease our output, then the variable cost also decreases. So in this way, it is changed according to the output, and therefore it is called as a variable cost. Then onwards, the total cost. Total cost means the summation of, actually we have already discussed that total cost. It is the summation of variable cost and fixed cost. So therefore, the TC means it is a summation of TFC and TVC. Okay, 50 plus 50, 100, 50 plus 150, 200. In this way, we will have a total cost. Then onwards, average fixed cost, AFC. Average fixed cost means the total cost divided by output. Okay, when we want to get the fixed cost, the TFC divided by output, then we get the average fixed cost. Okay, so look at the number of concepts: average fixed cost, average variable cost. Average, how can we calculate the average variable cost? TVC divided by output. Then we get the average variable cost. For example, if there is a 39, average variable cost is 39. How we get that 39? TVC, that is 78 divided by 2. 78 divided by 2, 39. Here, the average variable cost is 35. Okay, so 385 divided by 11, we get the 35 average variable cost. Okay, so then onwards the ATC. ATC means average total cost. Average total cost means TC divided by output. Total cost divided by output. Remember that each and every cost concept, the output always lies as a denominator. Okay, the output always is a denominator, and the numerator becomes the cost concepts. Then ATC means TC divided by output. If you want to calculate the TC 64 here, then 128 divided by 2 becomes 68. Okay, it is an average. And then onwards the marginal cost. Marginal cost means the cost incurred due to the additional unit. The cost incurred due to the additional unit means if the cost, the output increase from 1 to 2, so therefore the cost, marginal cost is changed from 50 to 28. Okay, then onwards again the output increased from 2 to 3, then marginal cost also changed from 28 to 20. Okay, so in this way we can calculate the marginal cost. Then onwards, look at the nature of AFC, TVC, ATC and MC. AFC or ABC, look at the ABC. From the 50, the ABC decreased up to certain level. Is this ABC decreased up to certain level, that is up to 25. But again, onwards, it started increasing. Is this? In the same way, average total cost also decreases up to certain level, up to 32. Then onwards, it's getting started increasing. In the same way, the marginal cost also decreases up to certain level, up to 40. That is bottom level. Is it? But onwards, it's again started increasing. Which means at the initial level, the costs are decreasing. They reaches at the bottom level. Then onwards, it started again increasing trends. Therefore, the cost curves always U-shaped. Every cost curve always lies as a U-shaped. Remember that. Only and only average fixed cost decreasing continuously. Only average fixed cost decreasing continuously, but every cost curve lies as a U-shape. U-shape means at the initial stage it shows decreasing trend, then onwards it reaches at the bottom level, and then onwards it started again increasing. So therefore, our every cost curve remains U-shape. Are you getting? The online students, are you getting? Every cost curve remains U-shape. Okay. Why AFC continuously decreasing? Because the total fixed cost remains same. Therefore, the AFC decreasing continuously. Okay. But other things, ABC, ATC, and MC are decreasing at the bottom. After the bottom level, it started increasing. Therefore, the cost curves always remains U-shaped. I want to remember that this thing, because onwards we are going to discuss about the price determination in perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. We are needed these kind of cost curves. Okay, so remember that whenever we use that kind of cost curves, it always line will be U-shaped. Okay, and why it is U-shaped? Because the production units are gets changed accordingly. Okay, so then onwards, the next thing, next concept, that is iso cost curve. The next thing is iso cost. In the previous lecture, I think we will discuss iso quants. Iso means similar or equal. We will discuss iso quant curve regarding production. And right now we are going to discuss about the iso cost curve regarding expenses. Okay. So it is here the same meaning. There is a same meaning for the iso cost curve too. So what is it mean by iso cost? And then onwards we will discuss the iso cost curve. Basically, the iso cost curve shows the possible combinations of inputs which can be purchased at given total cost. What is the ISO cost? The total cost is given, and within that we have a choice to get different kind of combinations of inputs. The inputs may be labor, capital, entrepreneur, or so on. Okay, raw material and so on. But here we have considered the two inputs, that is labor and capital. The possible combinations of labor and capital that can be purchased at given total cost. For example, I have showcases that example from your book, that on the page number 97, there is an example that a firm has a total expenditure of rupees 100, okay, which means the total cost given 100 rupees. The wage rate in the market are 20 rupees per day, okay, and the rate of interest is 10 rupees, okay. So at the given cost, which means at the 100 rupees, a firm can buy 5 labor and 0 capital. 5 labor means the wages are 20 rupees per day. So therefore, and the firm has only 100 rupees cost. It is, so the firm can make the expenses on 5 labor and 0 capital, or 4 labor and 2 capital, which means 80 rupees on labor. The firm can make the expenses on 80 rupees on labor and 20 rupees on capital. Why 20 rupees? The rate of interest is 10 rupees. It is, which means whenever any firm wants to produce anything and at the given cost, then the firm has a specific choice to choose the inputs accordingly. So this is called as a ISO cost or ISO cost line. Here we have a table at given cost, which means if the cost is given 100 rupees, then the labor at these are the certain combinations, the possible combinations A, B, C, D, E, F, the possible combinations. The C combination shows that at the given 100 rupees cost, the 3 labor can be purchased and 4 capital can be purchased. Is this here? In this way, or if we consider A combination, then 5 labor can be purchased, then the 0 capital can be purchased by the firm. So in this way, there are different kind of combinations or showcases in your that table. Is there any difficulty? So here, the graph is showcases that ISO cost line. The ISO cost line showcases that the different combinations of inputs at given cost. The B, for example, if we consider B combination, the B combination shows that at given cost, the firm can purchase 8 labor and 1 capital. At E point, the firm can purchase 2 labor and 4 capital. This is, which means the firm wants to produce the same production at the given cost. Then the firm can change the inputs accordingly. The basic condition is that the production must be remains same. The production should not be changed. Okay, so therefore it is called as a ISO cost line. Online students, is there any difficulty about ISO cost line? Okay. So this is called as a ISO cost curve. ISO cost curve itself, just remember these 2 lines, possible combinations of labor, that is inputs, that can be purchased at given cost. Okay. So these are the some cost concepts. Remember that image, you the cost curves, every cost curve, that may be marginal cost curve, average total cost curve, and average variable cost curves always remain U-shaped. Okay. So now we are going to discuss the next one thing, that is perfect competition. Okay. So next thing is perfect competition. Is this screen visible to all of you? Please type the message. Okay. Okay, no problem. So the next thing is perfect competition. Basically, the perfect competition, I have already told you that it is not a type of competition. It is a type of market. It is an imaginary market. First of all, remember the word imaginary. It is not real type of market. It is imaginary. If ceteris paribus means if other things remain same, if a specific condition is given, then what will happen in a market? So that analysis is given in the perfect competition. So therefore, it is an imaginary or hypothetical market, that is perfect competition. We cannot find that perfect competition market in a real world. It is theoretically. It is just made theoretically. So here we are going to discuss the features, difference, pros and cons of perfect competitions, and how firm and industry gets the price in the perfect competition. Here I have showcases to you the cost curve. Just it is a symbolic graph that showcases that marginal cost and average cost. Okay. So then onwards we will discuss in detail that graph too. So first of all, what is meant by perfect competition, or what is the meaning of perfect competition? Already I have told you that it is an imaginary market. Okay. Where all consumers have the same products and information. The same products and information means the product is homogeneous. Onwards we are going to discuss the features of market. Then we will discuss the homogeneity. Then what is meant by homogeneity? Itself it is show that if all consumers have same product means whatever the product produced in the perfect competition is always remains same. That is homogeneous. And the information is also homogeneous. Whatever the information is available in the market to the consumers is always homogeneous, it always same. Okay. Whenever the consumers have homogeneous product or the homogeneous information, then that market called as a perfect competition. In this type of economy, all the firms must offer the lowest price possible, which means in the perfect competition, the firms are price receivers. Then who gave them the price? The industry decides the price in a perfect competition market. Industry and firm, there is a difference, there is a clear-cut distinction between industry and firm. That part we will cover in the next one point. Okay, the distinction between firm and industry. But remember that offers lowest price means the firm is required to offer lowest price, which means it is given by industry. The firm is price taker. The firm is not a price maker in a perfect competition. So therefore it is called as a perfect competition. The firm is price taker. The firm allows or offers the lowest price possible in a perfect competition. So with the help of these features, we will get the actual meaning of perfect competition, how that market performs. The first one thing, that the perfect competition, which means it requires more than 2 units. Therefore, then there will be the competition. In case of single unit, there will not be any kind of competition. Is this? So therefore, the first one feature of the perfect competition is stated that many buyers and sellers. There are huge number of buyers and sellers in the perfect competition. No any single buyer or seller can affect the demand, supply, price, production, expenses and costs in the perfect competition. The buyers and sellers are huge number. There are number of buyers and sellers in the market. So therefore, no any single buyer or no any single seller can affect the price situation in a market. Are you getting? There are, for example, this is the pen. Okay, this is the pen. There are number of buyers for this pen. And the number of sellers are available in the market for this pen. The sellers from Nasik districts cannot affect the price for pen across the India, because if the Nasik district sellers wants to get the more benefit by reducing the price for that pen or increasing the price for that pen, not reducing, increasing the price for that pen. If the Nasik district sellers wants to get more and more profit by selling that pen, then what will happen? The buyers will approach to the other district sellers. And they will purchase the pen at cheap rate from the other sellers. So therefore, the demand for pen from the Nasik district will decrease. So therefore, not only Nasik district, but also any district or state or any person or any firm cannot affect the price, production, demand, supply, expenses and cost in a market. So this is the meaning of many buyers and sellers. Okay. The second one thing, homogeneity. It is very important and it creates a clear-cut distinction between the perfect competition and other types of markets. That is monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly. Basically, the market classifies into 2 categories. The first category constitutes the perfect competition. Second one category constitutes monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly market. Okay. So that feature creates the clear-cut distinction between perfect competition. That is homogeneity. Homogeneity means the equality. मराठीत सांगतो त्याचा अर्थ homogeneity. रंग, रूप, चव, आकार, वजन, किंमत, पॅकिंग हे सगळ्या बाबतीत वस्तू सारखीच असते असं यांनी गृहीत धरलेलं आहे. That they have assumed that in case of price, in case of color, taste, packaging and so on, all commodities and goods and services are same. So therefore it is called as the imaginary market. हे असं आहे का? कुठल्याच वस्तूच्या बाबतीत असं नाहीये. ओके, कुठल्याही वस्तूच्या बाबतीत असं नाहीये. म्हणजे फार फार तर आपण पिण्याचं पाणी म्हणू शकतो की जगाच्या पाठीवर कुठे गेलात तरी रंग, रूप, चव, आकार सारखंच आहे. थोडंसं मिनरल्स इकडे तिकडे म्हणतो तर थोडाफार तर एक ऍट सर्टन लेवल आपण म्हणू शकतो. हो की नाही? पण अशी ते एखाद्या अपवादात्मक गोष्टी म्हटल्या तर सोडल्या तर अशा कोणत्याही गोष्टी नाहीये की ज्या अगदी सगळ्यात रंग, म्हणजे पेन आपण म्हणतो जगाच्या पाठीवर असंच का? व्हेरिएशन्स आहेत ना, पॅकिंग आहे, डिझाईन आहे, कलर आहे, त्याची कॅलिग्राफी आहे, बरेच वेगवेगळे आहेत प्रकार. म्हणजे काय, प्रत्येक वस्तू वेगळी. ठीक आहे, आपल्याला ते तो बात म्हणायचा नाही, एकूण जायचं नाही. होमोजेनिटी, that market considered or assumed that the product are homogeneous. Okay, so therefore it is the imaginary market. The third one thing is free entry and exit. To whom? To the sellers and buyers. That is also important feature of perfect competition, free entry and exit. Where? In a market. In a perfect competition market, anyone seller can enter or anyone seller can exit at any point. Or anyone buyer can enter or anyone buyer can exit at any point. It is called as a free entry and exit. If a firm, if I'm talking about the firm, if a firm gets supernormal profit in the market, so obviously that supernormal profit will attract other firms towards that market. Is this? So obviously there is a free entry and exit. So if other firms will enter in that market, then the supernormal profit will decrease. That will be distributed among the other firms. It is, which means the price in a perfect competition lies at the average revenue. The firm in a perfect competition always tries to get at least average price. Are you getting it? समजते की नाही म्हणते? जर एखाद्या फर्मला परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन मध्ये एका दिवसाला 1 लाख रुपयाचा प्रॉफिट होत असेल, दॅट इज सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट. आणि म्हणून जर अदर आता समजा ह्या परिस्थितीमध्ये साहजिकच आहे इतर पण फर्म त्या इंडस्ट्रीकडे येणार. फर्म आणि इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये फरक आहे, मी पुढे जाऊन सांगतो कसं आहे. इतर पण फर्म त्या इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये येणार. साहजिकच सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट जो आहे 1 लाख रुपयांचा तो इतर जे काही इंडस्ट्री आहे सॉरी फर्म जे आहे त्यांच्या डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होणार, त्या पण ते प्रोडक्शन करणार आणि ते प्रॉफिट मिळवणार. मग ऍटलीस्ट हा प्रॉफिट 1 लाखावरून 50 वरून 10 वरून 5,000 5,000 1,000 ऍटलीस्ट त्या वस्तूची किंमत जर प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट 1,000 रुपये असेल तर फर्म ऍटलीस्ट 1,000 रुपये तरी मिळवण्याचा प्रयत्न करेल, तरच त्या मार्केटमध्ये राहील. एकदा की ती कॉस्ट सॉरी रेव्हेन्यू त्या कॉस्ट पेक्षा कमी झाला की फर्म मग तो अनबेअरेबल प्रॉफिट होतो सॉरी लॉस होतो. अनबेअरेबल लॉस ड्यू टू द अनबेअरेबल लॉस द फर्म विल एक्झिट द मार्केट. बरोबर. ती फर्म मग काय करेल, आपला व्यवसाय बंद करेल आणि मार्केटमधनं बाहेर पडेल. म्हणजे बाहेर पडण्याआधी त्या फर्मचा एक प्रयत्न असतो काय की ऍटलीस्ट ऍव्हरेज प्राइस. मला हे सांगायचं का पुढे जाऊन आपल्याला ग्राफ आहे, ठीक आहे. म्हणजे ग्राफ मध्ये मला हे जे म्हणतोय ना आता की ऍटलीस्ट ऍव्हरेज रेव्हेन्यू तरी मिळवण्याचा प्रयत्न करतात, याचा अर्थ काय पुढे जाऊन समजणार. कुठलीही फर्म आहे ती ऍव्हरेज तरी कमीत कमी मिळवेल ना, ठीक आहे. नाही सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट होते, नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट पण नाही होते, पण ऍटलीस्ट जेवढा खर्च करतो तेवढा तरी मिळाला पाहिजे, ठीक आहे. म्हणजे त्याच्यापेक्षा जर कमी होत असेल तर साहजिकच ते लॉस मध्ये जाणार आणि जर अनबेअरेबल झालं तर ते बाहेर पडणार, ठीक आहे. म्हणजे हे जे आहे एंट्री अँड एक्झिट हे कंटिन्युअसली चालू असतं परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन मध्ये. दॅट इज द थर्ड वन फीचर, फ्री एंट्री अँड एक्झिट. Then onwards, the fourth one is perfect knowledge. Every buyer and every seller have a perfect knowledge, optimum knowledge about the market. That is also the assumption. This is also assumed by the economists and experts. That is, every buyer and seller have a perfect knowledge about the market. What is meant by perfect knowledge? Say something. Yeah, they have a knowledge about the product. What kind of the color for that pen? What is the nature of that pen? What is the weight of that pen? What is the price for that pen? Which means the information regarding that pen. All buyers have the detailed information, optimum level information about that pen across the India. Is this possible? प्रत्येक गोष्टीच्या बाबतीत प्रत्येक बायरला सगळीच माहिती राहील का? असं कधी नसतं, म्हणून ते इमॅजिनरी म्हटलं, ठीक आहे. हे अजून केलं की असं जर मार्केट असेल तर काय होईल, ठीक आहे. But they have considered that the perfect knowledge. The consumers, that is buyers and sellers, have the perfect knowledge about the product. Okay. So then the fifth one is mobility of factors of production. There is a possibility of mobility of factors of production from one place to another place, from one industry to another industry, or from one firm to another firm. There is a possibility, which means if a firm gets supernormal profit, then the firm can get more and more production factors of production from other firms for sustaining that supernormal profit, sustaining that at least normal profit, or getting at least average price. Okay. So this is the possibility in the market for competition, that is mobility of factors of production means land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. They are freely movable across the market. Okay, there is no any kind of restrictions on the movement of factors of production. Then onwards, the next one thing they have considered that no transport cost. The transport cost, which means whenever any production wants to transport from one place to another place, then the firm is required to bear the transport cost. Is it? But in case of perfect competition, they have not considered the transport. Why they are not considered the transport cost? Because the product are same. If the product is differentiated, then it is required to transport the quality product from one place to another place. But the qualities are same. The qualities of all kind of goods and services are same. But therefore, it is not required to transport one commodity from one place to another place. Therefore, they consider that there is no transport cost. If we consider the transport cost, then what will happen? The price will increase. The price will differ from one region to another region. Is it? And again, that will create discriminations. Is it? So therefore, they have considered as in the no transport cost. Then next one thing is absence of artificial restrictions. Artificial restrictions means the tariff or the quota. Tariff means excise duty, like excise duty. It is. And quota means the only number of specific number of commodities are imports and exports. Okay. So this kind of artificial, or the in case of WTO, are you heard about the WTO? World Trade Organization. The special sanitary and phytosanitary restrictions are made by the WTO on the world trade. These are the artificial restrictions, sanitary and phytosanitary. Sanitation म्हणजे स्वच्छता मराठी. आता sanitary restrictions म्हणजे artificial restrictions काय असतात ते सांगतो. Sanitary restrictions त्यांनी काय इम्पोज केले की तुम्ही समजा तुमचे द्राक्ष आमच्याकडे पाठवले, तर तुमच्या द्राक्षांमध्ये रेसिड्यू आहे, म्हणजे काय औषध आहे, म्हणून तुमचे द्राक्ष आम्हाला नको. द्राक्ष तिथे जातात इंटरनॅशनल मार्केटमध्ये, तिथे ते म्हणतात की आम्हाला तुमचे द्राक्ष नको, खर्च किती वाया जातो. हे आर्टिफिशियल रिस्ट्रिक्शन्स आहे. आणि फायटोसॅनिटरी म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल ते म्हणतात की जे काही प्रोडक्शन तुमचं आमच्याकडे येत आहे ते कोणतंही असो, अगदी द्राक्ष असो, पेन असो, मोबाईल असो, काही असो, तुमचं जे प्रोडक्शन आमच्याकडे येत आहे, आम्ही जे इम्पोर्ट करतोय तुमच्याकडनं, त्या प्रोडक्शनसाठी तुम्ही 14 वर्ष वयापेक्षा लहान मुलांचा उपयोग केलेला आहे, म्हणून प्रोडक्शन आम्ही नको. समज These kind of artificial restrictions are made by not only the American government but also the developed countries imposes certain this kind of artificial restrictions on a market. मला तुम्ही उदाहरण सांगायची की artificial restrictions काय असतात. जकात आहे, कोटा आहे, किंवा हे फायटोसॅनिटरी आणि सॅनिटरी जे नॉर्म्स आहेत, these are the artificial restrictions. Okay. So, but in case of perfect competition, there is an absence of artificial restrictions. And the next one thing, the last one feature, that is uniform price. The price always remains uniform, similar, because the product is same. The product is same. So if these features found at any place, then there is a perfect competition. then there is a perfect market. Okay. So the next thing is very important, which is not included in your syllabus. मी जर या पुस्तकामध्ये करत सुद्धा नक्कीच हा पॉईंट ऍड केला असता. तर मला माहिती आहे की याच्यात ना क्लिअर कट डिस्टिंक्शन कळायलाच पाहिजे विद्यार्थ्यांना. काय आहे या दोन गोष्टी आहेत. इव्हन परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन मध्येच नाही, पुढचे जे काही 4 मार्केट आपण पाहिजे त्यातही आपल्याला फर्म आणि इंडस्ट्रीशी फार जवळ संबंध येणार. द फर्म आणि इंडस्ट्री बाकीचे काही डेफिनेशन्स वगैरे तुम्ही पाहूनच घ्याल. मला सांगायचं काय, मॅकडॉनल्ड इज अ फर्म, टेस्ला इज अ फर्म, वॉलमार्ट, हिरो होंडा, टाटा, रिलायन्स and other things, these are the firms. What are the industry? Food industry, automobile, retail, manufacturing, communication, these are the industries. Are you getting the difference? I'm not talking about any kind of definition, scope and size. Just remember, when we talk about the firm, then you have to get the actual meaning. When we discuss about the industry, then you will have to get the actual meaning. McDonald works in a food industry. Is this? Tesla works in a automobile and space industry and so on. As well as the retail, Walmart works in a retail industry. Industry means it is a group of firm which produces same product. Industry means it is a group of firm which produces same product. Hero Honda, it also works in a manufacturing or automobile sector. Reliance in a communication, energy, finance and so on, infrastructure and so on. Which means the industry comprises number of firms. Whenever any industry gives the supernormal profit to the firms, then number of other firms are also attracted towards that particular industry. Is it? For example, in case of automobile industry, the Tesla will have the supernormal profit in the future. Is this? And the other firms are also known very well. Then onwards, in the future, that maybe the Tata, Mahindra and Mahindra, that industry or the manufacturing company may attract towards the automobile or EV automobile sector, electrical vehicle sector. Because they know that the Tesla earns the supernormal profit in the market. And then when they entered in the automobile sector, there is a free entry and exit. There is no any restrictions. It is when Tata and Mahindra will enter in the EV automobile sector, then they will get the normal profit because the supernormal profit will distribute among the number of firms. Are you getting the difference between firm and industry? Online students, are you getting the difference between firm and industry? Please text the message. Okay. So then next thing is how the price determined in a perfect competition. The price determination is very essential in case of market as well as in case of the producer too. How much the price should be charged for any kind of product? It is very essential question arises in front of every producer. How much price should I charge for any kind of product? है ना? प्रत्येक प्रोड्युसर जो आहे त्याच्यापुढे हा प्रश्न असणारच आहे की मी किती वस्तूची किंमत ठेवावी की जेणेकरून मी मार्केटमध्ये टिकू शकेल. So that I can retain in the tense competition. This is the basic question arises in front of that every producer. So that condition solves that problem. The price always equal to the marginal revenue or at least average revenue. प्रत्येक प्रोड्युसर या मार्केटमध्ये आपल्या वस्तूची एवढी तरी ऍटलिस्ट किंमत ठेवतो किती की त्याचा ऍव्हरेज रेव्हेन्यू तरी भेटला पाहिजे. त्याच्यापेक्षा कमी जर झाला तर तो लॉस मध्ये जातो. जी बॉटम लाईन त्याने ठरवलेली आहे जेवढी प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट आहे तेवढ्या प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट इतकी तरी प्राइस त्याने चार्ज करणं अपेक्षित आहे किंवा तो चार्ज करू शकतो. त्याच्यापेक्षा त्याने जर त्याची प्राइस कमी ठेवली तर लॉस होणार. ठीक आहे ना. आणि म्हणून तर ऍटलिस्ट तेवढी तरी प्राइस ठेवण्याचा प्रयत्न. का तेवढी तरी ठेवेल कारण जास्त ठेवली तर काय होईल. समजा नाशिकचे जे काही प्रोड्युसर आहेत त्यांनी या पेनची किंमत 10 रुपये आता आहे भारतभरामध्ये 100 रुपये केली तर काय होईल बाहेर दुसरीकडे जातील. याची डिमांडच येणार नाही. याने भले 1 रुपयाला घेतलेला असेल पण 100 रुपयाला 1 रुपयाचं काय पण लॉस ना. म्हणजे ऍटलिस्ट तो काय करेल 11 रुपयाचं पेमेंट कमी ठेवेल. मग 11 रुपये म्हणजे 1 रुपयासाठी काही कोणी दुसरीकडे जाणार नाही. ऍटलिस्ट त्याच्याकडनं 11 रुपयाला तरी आपण घेईल. म्हणजे परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन मध्ये ऍटलिस्ट ऍव्हरेज रेव्हेन्यू म्हणजे काय 10 रुपये जर खर्च असेल तर ऍटलिस्ट नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट और व्हेरी लिटिल बिट प्रॉफिट इट बिकम्स द इन्सेंटिव्ह फॉर द प्रोड्युसर. ओके. मग ही बेसिक कंडिशन लक्षात ठेवा. आपल्याला पुढे जे ग्राफ पाहिजेत ना हे सगळे ग्राफ या बेसिक कंडिशन वर लक्षात डिपेंड आहे. दॅट इज द बेसिक कंडिशन. लक्षात येते. द परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन have a basic condition that average revenue is equal to marginal revenue is equal to price. Quantity तो काय one wants to do volume discounting. पण लोअर प्राइस त्याने ऑफर केली तर डिस्काउंट मध्ये म्हणजे तो एक त्याच्या प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट पेक्षा कमी करतो डिस्काउंटिंग मध्ये समजा फॉर एक्झाम्पल. म्हणजे मी ते डिस्काउंटिंग वगैरे ते तर सांग कधी डिस्काउंट देतो जेव्हा ऍटलीस्ट 10 रुपयाची वस्तू 50 रुपयाला विकत असेल तर डिस्काउंट देतो 30 रुपयाला देईल पण म्हणून 8 रुपयाला देणार नाही. डिस्काउंट म्हणजे कसं आहे 50 रुपयाची वस्तू ऍटलीस्ट 30 रुपयाला देईल प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट 10 रुपये असताना सुद्धा. पण मी म्हणतोय काय की ऍटलीस्ट त्या 10 रुपयाच्या जवळ तरी डिस्काउंटच्याही खाली तेवढी तरी ऍटलीस्ट तो अर्न करण्याचा प्रयत्न करेल मार्केटमध्ये टिकायचा असेल तर. आणि म्हणून त्यात ती बेसिक कंडिशन आहे की ऍव्हरेज प्राइस तर ऍटलीस्ट त्याला भेटली पाहिजे. सो हियर हाऊ द प्राइस डिसिजन मेकिंग condition affects the perfect competition and how the firm, I'm talking about the firm not about the industry. The firm produces the number of units like that it increases successively. The price is given by industry. The price is not decided by the firm. I have already told you that the price, the firm in a perfect competition as price taker. They are not the price maker. The price are decided by the industry. Are you getting it? So therefore the price remains same. प्रश्न उत्तर भेटले का प्राइस का सेम आहे इंडस्ट्रीने डिसाइड केलेली आहे ती एक्सेप्ट करावी लागते त्यांना फर्मला त्याच प्राइसला ती at least विकावी लागते वस्तू. Then what will be the total revenue for that firm? In case of 2 units, the total revenue will be 10, 5 into 2. In case of 7th unit or number of 7 units, the total revenue will be 35. 7 into 5. Is it? The total revenue increases. But in case of average revenue and marginal revenue, how can we calculate the average revenue? Total revenue divided by number of units. AR divided by number of units. The equation of average revenue is AR divided by TR divided by number of units. In this second one unit, the average revenue is 5. Why it is a 5? The total revenue is 10 divided by 2, 5. Total revenue is 35 divided by 7, 5. Average revenue remains same, which means the firm wants to get at least that price. Okay, and then marginal revenue means the change in total revenue divided by change in units. change in total revenue here, the change in total revenue is 10 to 15, means change is 5 rupees. Here, the number of units are changed from 2 to 3, means only single unit are changed. 5 divided by 1, 5. Here, always the marginal revenue remains again 5. Yeah. Price is equal to AR is equal to marginal revenue. It proves that condition. It is why that the price and marginal revenue and average revenue are equal to each other, because the price is given by industry. Okay. So then onwards, the next thing, which is this is very related to the market equilibrium and firm equilibrium. Here in that bracket, the two graphs are showcases that the first graph is related to industry. The first graph is related to industry, and second one graph is related to firm. Are you getting it? The first graph showcases that the price in an industry. The price in industry, I am talking about industry. Industry means which? What are the examples of industry? Okay, the price determined in industry. So the first graph is associated with the industry, and how the price determined in industry with the help of two forces. Which are these forces? The first one force is demand, and second one is supply. Supply, demand and supply are the two forces which determine the price. Okay. For example, if the DD showcases the demand curve and SS showcases the supply curve. Why demand curve getting decreased or negative slope? When the price increases, then the demand decreases. It is the law of demand. Is it? When price increases, then the demand gets decreases. If the price decreases, then demand increases. Therefore, the demand curve lies as a negative slope. And either supply curve goes upward from left to right side. When the price increases, always the producer wants to increase their supply. Think from the point of view of producer. If the price increases, the producer increases the supply, and if the price decreases, then the supply will be decreased. So therefore, it is a positive relationship between the price and supply. So therefore, the supply curve increases. And when the supply curve and demand curve intersects to each other, that is the equilibrium point. That is equilibrium point, and therefore there is a price is determined in the industry. Are you getting it? The equilibrium point between demand and supply, that is the equilibrium point, and then the price are determined in the industry. Okay, so this price is accepted by the firm. That is 5 rupees. Is this? In our example, we will discuss that the price is determined by the industry, which is accepted by firm. This is the price. 0 OP means 5 rupees. Are you getting it? समजते का? प्राइस इंडस्ट्रीने दिलेली फर्मने ऍक्सेप्ट केलेली आहे, आणि म्हणून तिथूनच आपण तो कर दाखवलाय. आणि इथे AR और MR का दाखवलाय? कारण सेम आहेत ते. त्यांचा आपण कर जर काढला तर एवढाच आहे. ओपी प्राइस आहे, ओपी AR आहे, ओपी MR आहे. ठीक है ना? सो देयरफॉर द OP or AR curve or MR curve always lies horizontally parallel to the OX axis in a perfect competition. Remember that AR and MR curve always lies horizontally parallel to the OX axis only in a perfect competition. In a monopolistic and oligopoly competition, the AR and MR are differ from each other. How that part we will discuss on the next lecture. But now just remember that why the AR and MR are always lie horizontally parallel, because the price are given by the industry and price are same. Therefore, the AR and MR are also same, and therefore they are parallel to the OX axis. लक्ष देते समझते डोक्यावर जात नाही मुंडी हात बघा झोपे ते नाही हो नाही ना ठीक आहे so there how the firm gets profit in an industry or the firm gets profit in industry here the price P1 is given by industry and it is accepted by the firm. Okay. Here we have used the marginal cost curve and average cost curve. I get it. मी आता ते cost curve सांगितले ना ते इथे वापरले हा या तुमच्या ग्राफ मध्ये पण आहे marginal cost curve and average cost curve. आता marginal cost curve बघा marginal cost curve average revenue ला the marginal cost curve intersects to the average revenue curve that is horizontally to parallel axis. Is it marginal cost curve intersects to the average revenue curve in that point, which means here the revenue and cost are same for the firm. Is it marginal revenue and marginal revenue are same for the firm, which means at that point the firm is at the break-even point. Break-even point means at that stage the firm have not any kind of profit or loss. Break-even point means the firm have the equal condition. The firm is not lies in a profit or lies in a loss, financial loss. So that is the point. But onwards, if industry increases the price from OP1 to OP2, so then what happens? Then the firm will accept the price. Then that will become new AR2 and MR2. The new curve will be shift towards the upward side. Is this? That becomes AR2 and MR2, and that AR2 and MR2 intersects to the MC curve, that is marginal cost curve, at this point. Is this? Are you getting it? So here, that shaded box showcases that the revenue is greater than their cost. The basic condition here fulfilled by the firm. The basic condition fulfilled by the firm here at that point, but here the firm gets more revenue. Why? Because the industry have increased the price for the product. And here we can say that there is a shaded space, and that shaded space showcases that there is a profit for the industry. Profit for the firm. Which means it showcases that the average revenue is more than marginal revenue is more than their marginal cost. When the revenue is greater than cost, then it always shows that the firm will lie in the profit. If the revenue is more than cost, then it is showcases that the firm is lies in a profit. समजते का? नाही लक्षात हे बघा मार्जिनल कॉस्ट एव्हरेज कॉस्ट बाकी सगळं सोडून द्या फक्त खर्च आणि प्राप्ती मराठीत अगदी म्हणूया आपण प्राप्ती खर्च आणि प्राप्ती या दोन गोष्टी आहेत प्रॉफिट कधी होतो जेव्हा रेव्हेन्यू म्हणजे प्राप्ती जास्त असेल खर्चापेक्षा तेव्हा प्रॉफिट होईल बरोबर आता इथे होतोय का इथे त्यांची जी बेसिक कंडिशन आहे आपली इथली ही कंडिशन या ग्राफ मध्ये फुलफिल झाली कुठे या पॉइंटला त्याला ब्रेक इव्हन पॉइंट म्हणतात ठीक आहे आता इथे ती बेसिक कंडिशन फुलफिल झाली म्हणजे काय मार्जिनल कॉस्ट किती आहे एवढा ठीक आहे पण जो एव्हरेज सॉरी मार्जिनल रेव्हेन्यूज आहे हा MR2 हा जास्त आहे म्हणजे जर आपण हा पॉइंट म्हटलं तर हा कॉस्ट पॉइंट आहे आणि हा रेव्हेन्यू पॉइंट आहे हा जो डिस्टन्स पाहिला आपण इथून तर इथपर्यंत हा कॉस्टचा डिस्टन्स आहे हा ब्रॅकेट समजा आपण म्हणूया हा ब्रॅकेट काय आहे कॉस्ट बिकॉज द कंडिशन इज फुलफिल्ड ऍट द पॉइंट म्हणजे हा कॉस्ट आहे खर्च आहे आणि हा जो मार्जिनल रेव्हेन्यू जो आहे तो हा एवढा आहे ठीक आहे नेक्स्ट वन मार्जिनल रेव्हेन्यू ठीक आहे म्हणजे ह्या पूर्ण ब्रॅकेट मध्ये इकडे लक्ष द्या ब्रॅकेट बोर्ड या पूर्ण ब्रॅकेट मधून म्हणजे हा पूर्ण ब्रॅकेट काय दाखवतो रेव्हेन्यू टोटल रेव्हेन्यू ठीक आहे या टोटल रेव्हेन्यू मधून हा कॉस्टचा जो काही बॉक्स आहे आपण काढला तो मायनस केला म्हणजे रेव्हेन्यू मधून हा खर्च वजा केला राहिला काय प्रॉफिट ठीक आहे लक्षात आलं when the marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost then firm lies in a profit in the same way here the condition fulfilled at that point is this but the average cost curve intersects to the marginal cost curve after the revenue curve is this after the revenue curve the condition fulfilled at that point but the average cost is more than their revenue so that bracket becomes the cost bracket and that bracket becomes the revenue bracket because at that point the firm gets that is revenue is this here the average revenue is showcases that point the box which showcases the cost and that box showcases the revenue that box is greater than the box of revenue is this so therefore this is a loss what is happening here the firm or the marginal cost are more than their marginal revenue marginal costs are more than their marginal revenue cost if the costs are more than revenue then it becomes loss it showcases the loss for the firm or industry okay that part we may discuss in the short run and in case of long run again in the same way the firm will have the profit at that point because sorry loss at that point because the revenue is less than the revenue box the revenue box is less than the cost box okay so there is a revenue and that is the cost of the firm that is showcasing the loss for the firm or industry okay so this is the break even point for the industry or the firm break even point means where the firm or industry have in the condition where the firm or industry will not have any kind of profit or loss the firm lies at the break even point that is balance point म्हणजे तिथे प्रॉफिट पण नाही होत लॉस पण होत नाही जेवढा खर्च आहे तेवढाच त्यांना रेव्हेन्यू भेटतो रेव्हेन्यू आणि प्रॉफिट दोन्ही सारखे अशी ती कंडिशन म्हणजे ब्रेक इव्हन पॉइंटची कंडिशन असते ठीक आहे तर इथपर्यंत ही परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन आहे आणि यानंतर आपण मोनोपॉली मार्केट जे आहे ते पाहूया ठीक आहे ऑनलाईन स्टुडंट्स काही अडचण आहे आपण थांबतो आहे आता ठीक आहे थँक्यू उद्याच्या लेक्चरला पुढच्या लेक्चरला आपण मोनोपॉली मार्केट काय आहे ते पाहूया मोनोपॉलिस्टिक पण काय आहे ते पाहूया ठीक है, थैंक यू.